Hi, Dee Dee Explores here. We're down here by Jim Thorpe and we're going to check out the Turnhole Tunnel. Come along, let's go see what's in there. This is the Turnhole Tunnel. The entrance is interesting. I don't know if this just collapsed by itself or, if they tried to fill it in at some point in time. But let's go in and see what we can find down here. It's not very long. It's only about 370 feet. But it has a long, interesting history. Okay, let's go down. Got some big rocks that collapsed here. Fell down from the roof. There's not much water dripping. I thought there'd be a lot more water dripping in the tunnel. Let's go check it out. The tunnel doesn't look very big, but it used to have 2 sets of tracks in it. You can see the ties here. This tunnel was built in 1868. They did it just to save themselves from going around that big bend with the river and all that stuff. It was used heavy. It was used for passengers and coal. It used to take a lot of passengers from like Jim Thorpe up to Whitehaven, which by the tracks was about 25 miles. But as the crow flies, it's a lot shorter. You got your double tracks here. No iron left, but the ties are clearly visible. It was used heavy. There was a lot of coal mined in this area. Jim Thorpe itself has quite an interesting history. But the tunnel, like I said, was used heavy. Before it was built, a lot of the coal was taken by carts. It was a lot of manual labor, a lot of work. Then they built the tunnel. It helped out a lot, helped save them a lot. And in 1910, it was partially abandoned. It was only used occasionally, like when they had to. And then finally, in about 1956, it was totally abandoned. It's cool in here, which is very welcome because it's going to be a hot, steamy day. Let's go to the end and check out the river. Got some rocks falling here and there, and I would imagine that someday they'll just completely block it off because it'll become too dangerous. But for the time being, it's open. You could see stuff. All the nice little birds. Wasn't counting on the sun being in my eyes, but that's okay. We could do this. There's the railroad bridge. People walk across it, drive across, and trains go on there. A lot of scenic tours in the fall. They do train rides and stuff. Down here is the original pillars to take the train across the river. When the river is a little bit lower and drier, you could see some of the ties and the rails that are down in there. Can't see them right now. River's a little high. We've been having a lot of rain lately. And maybe if we're lucky, we'll get to see some whitewater rafters come down the river. I don't know. It's kind of early right now, but we'll see. A beautiful scenery. There used to be a hotel up over there. I'm not sure exactly where. It's real hard to find on the maps and the old maps even. But we're going to go over there to see if we could find any of the remains. I'm at the entrance to the tunnel. As you can see, we got the river and the rail and everything behind me. Said it's a nice tunnel. It's only about 370 feet long, which is short compared to a lot of other tunnels I've done. But it's interesting. It's got a cool history. I don't know how much you can see. The sun is kind of blinding me. I don't know how much you can see behind me. But we're going to go back through, and then we're going to go to the other side and check it out. Okay? When it gets colder in the winter, you can sometimes see bats up here hibernating. I haven't seen any today, but we will take a little walk through and see if we can find any. Okay, we're coming out of the tunnel now. I'm going to go to the other side. We'll get a view from that angle. See what we can find down on the other side of the river. Walking across the bridge now. As you can see, cars come across here too. And there's the turn hole. Must have been an awesome sight in its day. Okay, now we're on the other side of the river. This is the bridge we drive across, and right next to it is the train bridge. We're going to check that out in just a few minutes. Let's go down here by the river. Okay, I'm down here by the river now. We're going to check out the bridge pillars, stanchions, whatever you want to call them. Okay, this is the Lehigh River. It's one of the major rivers. They used to use it for a lot of coal. We've got canals and locks along the whole river. They used to transport millions of tons of coal down here back in the heyday. Now everything's by rail. Little rocks there. Okay, there's the turnhole tunnel that we were just in. You can see there the flood markings on the old bridge pillars. You can see that mountain was kind of high. It was too much for them way back then to go around it. It was too hard for them. Now, it's not a problem. The railroad track just follows the river totally. They don't have to cut through the mountains and tunnels like they used to. I mean, there still are tunnels along that railroad track, but this one kind of fell into disuse, like I said. Totally abandoned in 1956. There's the bridge we just came across on the car. Right behind it is the railroad bridge. There's two sets of tracks there. They still put a lot of coal out on that railroad. So peaceful out here this morning. I got here before the crowds. That was my intention. This way I could just take my time, mosey around, no bumping into people. Just a nice little walk. As you can see, the water comes up here sometimes when it's a little high. But that's okay. We're ready for it. Even if it was that high, we're ready for it. We're good. Here's the turnhole from another angle. There's the bridge we came across too. Right behind it is the railroad bridge. Maybe we'll get lucky and see a train coming across today. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, I'm going to wrap up this video now. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a very interesting place down here, Jim Thorpe. Come on down. You might like to see everything here. They've got museums and a whole bunch of stuff. Click like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget, click that notification bell so you get to see my new videos. Have fun with it. Hope to see you soon. Peace, baby.